Amiga Power All-Time Top 100 Games for 1991. Number 100. Grand Monster Slam, released by Rainbow Arts in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. The elves, trolls, goblins, orcs, dragons and knights are back for another Grand Monster Slam. Held once every 5 years, it is the biggest sports festival of the fantasy world. Number 99. Zybots. Launched by Domark in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga, pits Major Rock Hardy and Captain Ace Gun against an army of invading Zybots in a battle for supremacy. Featuring a split screen for 1 or 2 players with a unique viewing area, this challenging strategic blast 'em up delivers non-stop action. Number 98. Red Storm Rising, developed by Microprose in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga, is a submarine simulation game based on Tom Clancy's novel, allowing players to command a Navy sub during a fictional Cold War conflict, with realistic sonar mechanics and strategic mission planning. Number 97. Ghouls and Ghosts, released by U.S. Gold in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga, is a side-scrolling platformer where players control Knight Arthur to rescue Princess Guinevere, known for its challenging difficulty and stunning graphics that leverage the Amiga's color palette. Number 96. Golden Axe, released by Virgin Mastertronic in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. In Turtle Village, the invaders are ugly, brutal and 12 feet tall. They roar with laughter as they pound you into the dirt. Swing Axe Battler's mighty sword smash and blast with Tyrus Blair's curtains of fire. Somersault and strike with Julius Thunderhead's axe or scorch the brutes with lightning. Number 95. And now for something completely different. Monty Python's Flying Circus, the computer game, was released in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Developed by Core Design and published by Virgin Games, it was based on the surreal British comedy series Monty Python's Flying Circus. Number 94. MiG-29. Developed by Domark in 1991 for the Commodore Amiga, you will have to prove your skills in a series of grueling missions based on real-life scenarios. MiG-29 is the ultimate military aviation experience which will test and stretch your skills like nothing before. Number 93. Their Finest Hour, released by Lucasfilm Games in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. It's summer, 1940. The German war machine has humbled all of Europe, except Great Britain. Now, the mighty Luftwaffe plans to soften up southern England for an invasion called Operation Sea Lion, and the RAF must wage a desperate defensive battle against superior foe. Graphically stunning, historically accurate, and thrillingly realistic. Number 92. Supercars, launched by Gremlin Graphics in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. The roar of the engines and high-powered machinery fills your ears as you lean back in your slick Nissan GTO 300ZX Turbo. It's you against the best drivers in the world in a race for money, glory and the supreme championship. Number 91. Switchblade, released by Gremlin Graphics in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Hero, last of the Blade Knights, must reassemble the 16 fragments of the shattered Fireblade. Only then, he can take on havoc and avenge his people's death. Number 90. Batman the Movie, published by Ocean Software in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Just when you thought you'd heard the last of his heinous cackling, the Joker is back. As the Dark Knight, only you can determine how the plot will unfold as you try to save Gotham City from certain doom. Number 89. Treasure Trap, released by Electronic Zoo in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Sidestep stingrays, dodge crabs, elude electric eels and avoid becoming the main course for lunch. Number 88. Turrican, developed by Rainbow Arts in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. You are Turrican, the cockiest, coolest Chromidium warrior since RoboCop and Terminator. Your mission? Explore and reclaim the deep space colony of Altera from blood-draining, bio-mutated killers. It's a big job with 4 vast worlds to conquer and 10 menacing levels to explore. Number 87. Distant Armies, released by Exocet Software in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. Each game is programmed with its own board, pieces and rules. Features include 2- and 3-dimensional views, several levels of difficulty, a mode to show you all of the possible legal moves for a piece, and the ability to load and save games. Moves can be entered from the keyboard or mouse. Number 86. TV Sports Football, launched by Cinemaware in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Strap on your helmet and get ready for an American football simulation that looks exactly like the real thing. TV Sports Football features amazing graphics and animations, real arcade action on offense and defense, individual and team statistics, and a 28-team, 16-game schedule and postseason playoffs. Number 85. Tetris, adapted for the Commodore Amiga by Spectrum Holobyte in 1988. This game of skill was conceived by 2 Soviet programmers. Time is of the essence as you try to rotate and/or flip moving pieces to fit as they descend from the top of the screen. Building lines with multicolored squares falling from the sky. What could be easier? Number 84. Venus the Flytrap, released by Gremlin Graphics in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Free the planet of hordes of mutant killer insects, across 50 levels and 10 different worlds, using a multi-array of lethal weapons and bonuses. Number 83. James Pond, launched by Millennium in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. You are James Pond, underwater agent. Through 12 missions of brilliant arcade action, save the sea from destruction, rescuing rare creatures, plugging leaking oil tankers and retrieving radioactive canisters. Number 82. Dragon Breed, released by Activision in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Kaias became the king of the Agamen Empire when he was just 15 years old. Together with the Dragon of Light, Kaia's task is to prevent the King of Darkness from filling the kingdom with black power. Number 81. Total Eclipse, developed by Microstatus in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. An ancient curse, an imminent eclipse, giant pyramids, secret panels, a hidden shrine, poison darts, pressure pads, treasure chests, tripwires and mysterious mummies, all in glorious Freescape Solid 3D. Number 80. Pipe Mania, released by Lucasfilm Games in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. What are you supposed to do with 7 simple pieces of pipe and 8 weird ones? All you have to do is build them into a pipeline, but that's the easy part. Seconds after you put the first pipe in place, this sticky, slimy stuff called flues starts flowing through it. Number 79. Will Harvey's Zany Golf, published by Electronic Arts in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. 9 of the craziest holes you've ever seen, each one like a separate arcade game, featuring individual music tracks, rich animated background graphics and a host of very unusual obstacles. Number 78. Buggy Boy, released by Elite Systems in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. Drive your race-tuned Baja Bug along the racetracks, passing through gates and collecting flags for points. Time gates give you an additional 2 seconds on the next leg, so drive through them if you can. Number 77. Flood, launched by Electronic Arts in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. The traps have been turned on. Quiffy has 36 levels to get out. Collect the rubbish and seek out the teleport. Flamethrowers will keep enemies at bay and watch your oxygen level underwater. Number 76. Quartz, released by Firebird in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. An all-action 8-way scrolling graphical extravaganza, blast 'em up. 4 levels of non-stop frenetic action with 11 different power-ups. Number 75. Elite, adapted for the Commodore Amiga by Microplay Software in 1991. Command your Cobra spaceship in a fantastic voyage of discovery and adventure. Discover the secrets of space while fighting off a barrage of pirates, bounty hunters and police in order to survive. Trade among countless planets, using the proceeds to equip your ship with heat-seeking missiles, beam lasers and other weapons. Number 74, Saint Dragon, released by Storm. The sales curve in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. An evil force of monster machines has risen to conquer the galaxy. One by one, the peaceful races of the galaxy have been attacked and enslaved by the cyborg monsters. No race has the strength to stand against the power of the cyborgs. One lone rebel rises from within the ranks of the mechanized monsters. Number 73, Rocket Ranger, launched by Cinemaware in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. With the zapping of ray guns and the cries of zombie women, Rocket Ranger brings back all the action, romance, thrills, and spills of the Saturday morning serial. The action begins with an urgent message from the future, a future that saw the Nazis win World War II, spectacular aerial dogfights and bone-crushing fistfights. Number 72, Bloom, released by Lucasfilm Games in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Long after the passing of the Second Shadow, when dragons ruled the twilight sky and the stars were bright and numerous, came the age of the great guilds. Blacksmiths, shepherds, clerics. Help young Bobbin rescue his guild. Dot and you just might save the universe from an unspeakable catastrophe. Number 71, Rick Dangerous, published by Firebird Software in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. He's got a six-shooter, some dynamite, and a big stick. He's up against Amazon tribesmen, Nazi agents, ruthless assassins and other assorted bad guys. And he has to dodge rampaging boulders, poison blow darts and deadly pits at every turn. No wonder he can't get decent life insurance. Number 70, Balance of Power 1990, released by Mindscape in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. A game of global politics and power struggles, featuring a new multipolar level. This game allows 80 countries to ship weapons and troops and fight wars. Your challenge as a superpower is to monitor their policies and use your influence. Number 69, Projectile, launched by Electronic Arts in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. With fast multi-directional scrolling and up to 3 players per game, tough computer opponents and 6 goals to achieve. These features make it stand out as more than just a speedball clone. Number 68, Kid Gloves, released by Millennium in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Number 67, Pac-Mania, adapted for the Commodore Amiga by Grand Slam Entertainment in 1988. You know Pac-Man, that world-famous yellow fella who's trying to gobble all the dots in the maze without getting nabbed by ghosts. Armed with new bounce power, Pac-Man faces new challenges as he enters the worlds of Blocktown, Pac-Man's Park, Sandbox Land and Jungly Steps. Number 66, Midwinter, released by Rainbird Software in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Midwinter is a deep and compelling strategy game, original in concept and revolutionary in design. A new ice age grips the world, and along with fellow pioneers you live on the Midwinter Isle, the last habitable oasis on Earth. A very real threat looms large as invaders attempt to seize your sanctuary. Number 65, Silkworm, adapted for the Commodore Amiga by Virgin Games in 1989. Classic shoot-'em-up action where you fly or drive the Silkworm mission on your own or team up with a friend. Number 64, Night Shift, released by Lucasfilm Games in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Each 8-hour shift takes just a few minutes to complete, but the better you get, the tougher your job gets. Bigger quotas, pesky lawyers, furry pests. Number 63, Future Wars, published by Palace Software in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Your adventure starts in the present day when, innocently attempting to avoid your boss at work, you stumble across a secret passage that transports you back in time to the start of a quest that takes you into the Middle Ages, prehistoric times, and the distant future. Number 62, A-18 Interceptor, released by Electronic Arts in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. You can choose to fly a F-16 or F-18 with a choice of flying off either 3 land-based airfields or an aircraft carrier. Both aircraft fully armed with radar and heat-seeking missiles and 20mm cannon. as well as defended by ECM, chaff and flares. Number 61, Warhead, launched by MPH in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. The most disturbing aspect of this conflict is that we do not know our enemy. We do not know their reasons for attacking us. All we know is the safety of the people of Earth rests in your hands. Number 60, IK Plus, released by System 3 in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. With a vast range of moves including killer kicks, pulverizing punches, heavyweight headbutt, flying kick, devastating split kick maneuver and the spectacular backflip. Number 59, The Killing Game Show, published by Psygnosis in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Suited in limited protection armor, you're the unwilling contestant on the Killing Game Show. In front of a TV audience of millions, you must battle your way to the top of 16 pits of death infested with hostile artificial life forms specially created by the Killing Game Show's manic scientists. Number 58, Battle Command, released by Ocean Software in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Before 1990, if you wanted to control an assault tank, you either had to sign up to Her Majesty's Armed Forces, or settle for the basic side on her top-down computer graphics of the day. This game sees you take command of a futuristic assault tank, dropped by helicarrier right into the middle of the action on the battlefield. Number 57, Bomboozle, launched by Imageworks in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. Pit your wits against some of the finest programmers in the UK, with contributions from Jeff Minter, John Ridman, Mule and from your favorite magazines too. Hundreds of levels of sheer addiction, incredible cartoon graphics and isometric 3D or plan view play option. Number 56, Helter Skelter, released by Audiogenic Software in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. This game fully recreates the addictive simplicity, the fun and the enjoyment that made games like Pac-Man, Breakout and in Bubble Bobble. Bounce your way through 80 challenging screens. Number 55, Archipelagos, published by Astral Software in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Specially trained ecological engineers, called environment purifiers, EPs, are being sent to Earth to undo centuries of damage. Is it too late? You're about to find out. Number 54, Leisure Suit Larry 3, released by Sierra Online in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. This was a first Sierra game ever to allow you to switch roles and see the story from another point of view. Number 53, Bubble Bobble, adapted for the Commodore Amiga by Firebird Software in 1988. Meet Bub and Bob, two of the busiest beasties you ever saw, as they battle their way across 100 levels of controlled chaos in search of their girlfriends. Jump around picking up goodies and secret weapons as you seek to outsmart your enemies, but beware. Hang around too long and you'll face Baron von Blubba, from whom there's no escape. Number 52, Cadaver, released by Imageworks in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Cadaver is the interactive fantasy adventure where you stumble through a labyrinth of age-old passageways, explore the mystic contents of Wolf's secret rooms, battle to the death with hideous monsters. Number 51, Wings, published by Cinemaware in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. In Wings, you'll relive the action, glory and seat of the pants daring of a World War I Allied or German fighter pilot. Wings Advance includes a wide variety of missions, from strafing enemy convoys to bombing aerodromes. You'll also go head-to-head against opposing flyers in first-person dogfights. Number 50, Tower of Babel, released by Rainbird in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Tower of Babel is an intricate 3D strategy game involving an interconnecting network of towers, platforms and lifts. Take control of robot spiders and program them to solve problems and puzzles and interact with other creatures, such as pushers, zappers and grabbers. Number 49, Battle Squadron, launched by Electronic Zoo in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Dateline 2400, your mission, rescue hostages, Destroy surface defenses. Infiltrate subterranean levels. Avoid chameleon ships and killer mutants. Capture heavy firepower. Only the quickest trigger will survive. Number 48, Arkanoid 2. Released by Imagine in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. Eons ago, you battered Doe into an intergalactic pulp and escaped. But a scrap of DOH's core energy survived. Use your ultra-fast reflexes and intense concentration to get to the core of the X-Orb without pounding your ship to interstellar scrap. Number 47, World-Class Leaderboard, published by Access Software in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. Andrews, the most revered course in golf. Doral Country Club, the Florida Blue Monster. Cypress Creek, the largest and the finest. The fourth course, designed specifically for world class, is the Gauntlet Country Club. Only those who have mastered the best courses in the world should expect to come close to par at the Gauntlet. Number 46, Operation Stealth, released by U.S. Gold in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. As British super agent James Bond, just back from holiday in Kuwait, you will find yourself plunged headlong into the world of international espionage, sent across the globe in an attempt to find the missing, super-secret stealth bomber. The list of suspects include a Latin American dictator, the Russian KGB, and, possibly, organized crime. Number 45, Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, launched by Gremlin Graphics in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Feel the thrill of accelerating from 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds as you race head-to-head over hills, through valleys and around vicious bends, gripping the wheel of your Lotus Esprit Turbo. Featuring 3D split-screen 1 or 2-player action, 32 courses across 3 different levels, 20 competing cars, multi-hazard turbo racing, refueling and pit-stop decision tactics. Number 44, Shanghai, released by Activision in 1986 for the Commodore Amiga. Mahjong, the 3,000-year-old Chinese obsession of sailors, warriors, scoundrels and kings. Brought to America in the 1920s, it lured innocent players to addiction and was banned in Philadelphia. Now the best of this game returns in Shanghai. Number 43, Starglider 2, published by Rainbird Software in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Heroes are never allowed to rest forever, it seems. Maybe this has something to do with the fact that evil emperors never take defeat easily. Number 42, Pro Tennis Tour 2, released by Ubisoft in 1991 for the Commodore Amiga. Sold in France and Germany as Great Courts 2 and everywhere else as Pro Tennis Tour 2. Create and save your own player. Train intensively. Participate in the most prestigious tournaments in the world, including the Davis Cup. Number 41, Super Hang-On, adapted for the Commodore Amiga by Electric Dreams in 1987. Hang-On's back with 2 awesome races that are guaranteed to rev your engine. Whether you're racing against time as you beat a path across 4 continents, battling guts with an opponent on a specially designed circuit, there's no better thrill. Number 40, Car VUP, released by Core Design in 1991 for the Commodore Amiga. Your task as Arnie is to visit each of the 8 worlds within the 48 levels. You have to drive around turning Captain Grimm's evil back to good. You must rescue your kidnapped friends, make all the world a happier place again, and then go on to defeat Captain Grimm at the end of the game. Number 39, Castle Master, published by Domark in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Use your eyes and ears to discover solutions to the brain-twisting puzzles. Secret rooms, twisting corridors, animated specters and hidden traps, all in superb solid 3D, make Castle Master the most atmospheric action-adventure you'll ever play. Number 38, Interphase, released by Imageworks in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. As a rogue dreamer, you have to enter the mainframe and direct your partner to the track itself. The minds of every future generation will be trusting to your skill and intellect. Number 37, Voxine, launched by U.S. Gold in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Inside the human body, a constant war rages between invading virus cells and the body's own defense mechanisms. But the invasion force is growing stronger. How long can you survive with Voxine? Number 36, F-29 Retaliator, released by Ocean in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Pilot the world's most sophisticated aircraft in the flight sim that started it all. Dogfight with Russian MiGs over the Pacific. Destroy SAM sites over the Middle East. Thwart a land raid on a vital ally airstrip over Europe. Number 35, Ivan, Iron Man, Stewart's Super Off-Road, published by Virgin Games in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Super Off-Road is the ultimate off-road racing event. 4 tough trucks speed around rough and ready tracks packed with pitfalls, power boosters and prizes. No one knows the meaning of sportsmanship here. Have you got the skill and determination to come out on top? Number 34, Puznets, released by Ocean Software in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. The gameplay is staggeringly simple. The ingenuity lies in the formation of the screens. Get puzzled by and be prepared for many long nights of frustration and excitement. Number 33, Xenon 2 Megablast, launched by Imageworks in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. The Xenites are back and have thrown time itself into turmoil. Only you can save the day, not to mention the universe. Take control of a spacefighter and shoot wave after wave of alien lifeforms across 5 testing time zones in this action-packed shoot-'em-up. Number 32, Powermonger, released by Electronic Arts in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. In a world without kings, power is the only law. No leader yet controls the destiny of this new world. Can you? Unite each territory by word or by sword or face the bitter defeat at the hands of the other Powermongers. Number 31, Captive, published by Mindscape in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Armed only with a briefcase computer found in the corner of your cell, you start sending out electronic SOS calls to the battling world outside. Eventually you find a motley crew of 4 droids ready to help bring about your escape. So begins your quest for freedom. Number 30, E-Motion, released by U.S. Gold in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Your whole life you've blown things up, now it's time to put it all together. After a hard day, is it noise, pressure, haste and tension you want? Or would you rather come home to harmony? A game that challenges you to relax and rewards you for staying calm. Number 29, F-19 Stealth Fighter, launched by Microprose in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Engage opponents in tenacious aerial dogfights as you soar through 4 explosive war theaters in Libya, the Persian Gulf, the North Cape, and Central Europe, all brought to life by spellbinding graphics from MPS Labs. Number 28, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, released by U.S. Gold in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. The chase is on all the way to the greatest treasure in history, the Holy Grail. Have you got what it takes to tackle the 4 arduous action-packed levels? Capture the Cross of Coronado. Scramble across a rumbling circus train. Survive a savage rat attack. Play human fly on granite castle walls. Fight your way out of a giant zeppelin. Race against time and ancient booby traps. Number 27, SWIV, published by Storm in 1991 for the Commodore Amiga. From the programmers of Silkworm, the shoot-'em-up of the 80s, comes SWIV, the shoot-'em-up of the 90s. Computer-aided weapons system, online communications equipment operational. System checks complete. Prepare for combat as a member of your nation's elite assault team, SWIV. Number 26, Clax, released by Domark in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. So you've got quick hands, but how fast is your brain? Catch colored tiles coming down a conveyor belt. Score big points by arranging them in same colored stacks of 3s vertically, horizontally or diagonally. A tic-tac tile game, if you will. Number 25, Laser Squad, launched by Blade Software in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Laser Squad is a move-taking futuristic role-playing game employing state-of-the-art technology and firepower. In 2-player mode, Laser Squad allows you to take on the role of hunter or hunted. Experience and interact in 5 unique scenarios which will stretch your strategic skills to the limit. Number 24, Typhoon Thompson, released by Activision in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Summon up the courage and check your laser cannon as you prepare to face the unknown. You'll never have a better chance to prove that, even though your nickname is Typhoon, you're not a blowhard. Number 23, Plotting, published by Ocean in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Addiction is the name of the game. It all seems so easy, but can you beat the Micro or your partner at this hideously mind-boggling game? Plot your move, take aim and block them out. It's that simple. As simple as grilling ice cubes. Number 22, Paradroid 90, released by Hewson Consultants in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. The droid crew of a galactic space freighter have turned against their master, using the influence device, beam aboard and destroy the mutinous crew. Number 21. Damocles, launched by Novagen Software in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Eris is the fifth planet in the Gamma solar system of 9 planets and their 19 moons around the star Dialis. The comet, Damocles, in its present trajectory will collide with Eris in just a few hours. In this sequel to Mercenary, your job is to prevent this. Number 20. The Sentinel, released by Firebird Software in 1987 for the Commodore Amiga. He is the Lord of 10,000 worlds, and now he wants to become Lord of your world, too. The Force Guardian. He is nearly invincible. He has everything under control, but even a Force Guardian can be defeated. But courage alone isn't enough. You need a perfect strategy. Number 19. The New Zealand Story, published by Ocean Software in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Tiki the Kiwi stars in this adventure of a lifetime in this arcade #1 hit. Watch the feathers fly as you guide Tiki through the islands of New Zealand, solving mazes, defeating fiendish foes, rescuing his Kiwi friends, and finally facing the evil Wally Walrus in the ultimate battle. Will you be the next dish on the fresh Kiwi menu? Only time will tell, and it is running out fast. Number 18. Ultima 5, released by Origin Systems in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Enter the realm of Britannia, a world rich in history, adventure, and intrigue. Now, Britannia's destiny depends on your ability to discover the fate of Lord British and to unseat the merciless Blackthorn. Number 17. Rick Dangerous 2, launched by MicroStyle in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Our intrepid adventurer and all-round superhero saved the world once from the wicked ways of the Fat Man. Rick endures screen after screen of heart-pumping action and death-defying thrills in a top-quality sequel. Number 16. Dungeon Master, released by FTL in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. Choose your comrades for this adventure carefully, because you'll need strong fighters and powerful magicians to survive. Their skills will be tested by intricate puzzles and cunning traps hidden inside. Number 15. Carrier Command, published by Rainbird Software in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Manage your logistic supply lines between islands to support your fighting effort moving forward. Use your tactical map to plan the campaign. Spy on the supply lines of your enemy. Defend your carrier against relentless attacks. Number 14. Nebulous, released by Hewson Consultants in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. Weird things are happening on planet Nebulous. Someone or something has begun building huge towers on the sea bottom without having a construction license. You get to the base of each tower in your submarine. You must guide your creature around and through all 8 towers in order to reach the top of each and defuse an evil threat. Number 13. Spindizzy Worlds, launched by Electric Dreams in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. A tricky, exciting action game. Avoid complicated traps and tons of unique enemies while controlling Gerald. Over 100 different levels, packed with steep slopes, jumps, and multi-level challenges. Beat every level, conquer every star. Number 12. Prince of Persia, released by Domark in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Grab your sword and experience the addictive gameplay that set the standard for intense action and adventure. Explore exotic labyrinths and challenging mazes, avoid devious, lethal traps, and battle ever more skillful swordsmen as you attempt to rescue the princess before time runs out. Number 11. Peng, published by Ocean Software in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. A perfect conversion from the popular arcade game. Conquer the balloon invasion in this exhilarating test of your game-playing skills. A quick eye and super-fast reflexes will give you just a half chance of a win. The other half that will come if the bounce goes your way. Number 10. Stunt Car Racer, released by Microprose in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Open the throttle fully and pull G. Your turbocharged V8 engine hugs banked curves before climbing up and away off a ramp hundreds of feet above the ground. Number 9. Indianapolis 500, launched by Electronic Arts in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. with instant replays from 6 different camera angles to capture daring passes and devastating mistakes, full pit lane, and a choice from one of 3 different cars or tune your own with 8 suspension. Qualify for the pole position and you have the advantage, but you'll still have to face 32 of the best drivers in the world. Number 8. Falcon, released by Spectrum Holobyte in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Climb into the Falcon cockpit and fly a highly realistic simulation of the F-16A Fighting Falcon. Perform fighter maneuvers while engaging enemy MiGs in dogfight battles or connect 2 computers and go head-to-head against another plane piloted by a second person. Number 7. Kickoff 2, published by Anco Software in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Full-size multi-directional scrolling pitch with accurate markings. 1 to 4 players option. 2 players can team up against the computer or 2 other players. Enhanced features on the expanded Amiga version include linesman referees, overhead kicks, and extra sound effects. Number 6. Populous, released by Electronic Arts in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. The fate of the population of over 900 worlds is in your hands. Your loyal followers depend on you for fertile land and protection from the spreading forces of evil. To defeat them, unleash your power to command the forces of nature, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, floods, and more. Number 5. Virus, launched by Firebird Software in 1988 for the Commodore Amiga. This lightning-fast shootout takes place over 3-dimensional landscape where you pilot your heavily armed hoverplane, skimming across the surface in a death-defying mission. Number 4. SimCity, released by Maxis in 1989 for the Commodore Amiga. Design and build the city of your dreams. Fight crime, unemployment and pollution. Control budgets, transit and population. Create industries, shopping centers, parks, stadiums, seaports and airports. SimCity is alive. Number 3. Speedball 2, published by the Bitmap brothers in 1990 for the Commodore Amiga. Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe is no ordinary sports sim. It's a unique blend of extreme violence and stunning gameplay. Someday, all sport will be played this way. Number 2. Lemmings, released by Psygnosis in 1991 for the Commodore Amiga. Take command of the wackiest collection of misdirected rodents ever seen on your screen. Help guide these clueless green-haired critters on their romp through 120 levels of intellectually challenging gameplay. And now for number 1 in Amiga Power's all-time top 100 games for 1991. Rainbow Islands, adapted for the Commodore Amiga by Ocean Software in 1990. From the island of Doe to Monster Island, you will encounter Doe himself, stinging insects, hideous toy creatures, lethal combat machines, mechanical assailants, the formidable beings of legend and folklore, and finally you will enter the world of darkness and its inhabitants in this Bubble Bobble sequel.